I'm Sean Canning, Principal Architect of 1070 Architecture. 1070 Architecture is a San Diego-based modern architecture studio. The Edinburg Residence was a really cool project. The client was really open to my ideas. For materials, we basically used stucco, metal, and wood, and then concrete for the landscaping. As a modern architect, it was just the dream palette. This is kind of the palette that I'm looking to incorporate in most of my projects, and Keith was really receptive to that. On this particular project, we narrowed it down to 3 components. First, it was about restoring some of the details that were destroyed in the previous renovation. Second, it was about creating interior-exterior space. And the third component was to draw the homeowner's guests up to a second floor roof deck. So to do this, we used the material of wood to draw people from the front door up the stairway and to this exterior roof deck, which is covered by a really cool wood trellis. Working in the coastal zone is a huge challenge. The permit's gonna take a much longer time, it's gonna cost a lot more money, and most of the work up until you get that coastal development permit is at risk to the client, in the sense that if the project gets appealed by your neighbors, you lose all the money you've invested in the permit. On this particular project, it is in the coastal zone, but we were able to get a coastal exemption, which is super helpful because we achieved the permit in less than 2 months, which is super fast for any project in California. My preference of working with a client is what's called design build. And this term gets thrown around a lot, but a true design build process has an independent architect and an independent contractor. And in my opinion, this is the best way to assemble a project team. I have a series of contractors that I'll recommend, and MMD Construction in Milan is generally on the top of that list. It's a major benefit to the client to have a contractor present in the design phase to bounce ideas off them and then have the contractor respond in terms of constructability. It's nice to have a cost associated with that. And that's really a design build process. Phase 1 is the site analysis. And in this phase, I do an exploration of the existing conditions of the site and structure. And then I take this back to my computer and I build a 3D digital model of the entire as-built condition. Phase 2 is schematic design. In the schematic design phase, I have a long-form interview with the client at their property where we go through all of their needs and their goals. From that information, I can then spin off and present my best ideas for the project. And it's very important that the client is super honest with the architect at this stage to say, hey, I really like this and I don't like this. And then we can adjust the direction and move into phase 3. Phase 3 is the design development phase. And in phase 3, we're going to go through a series of revisions of the design. What's unique about 1070 architecture is in the design development phase, we're working in 3 dimensions on the digital model. So we're able to use the digital model we built from phase 1 and now create all the new design and layer the new design over that as-built model. The construction drawing phase is where we incorporate the structural engineer. I work with Patterson Engineering, who's one of the best structural engineers in the city of San Diego. And Patterson Engineering can begin their structural work, while I can begin the architectural work. At the conclusion of the phase, we tie them together and you have a drawing package which you can submit to the city for a permit.